This is my rifle. There are many like it, but this one is mine. My rifle is my best friend. It is my life. I must master it as I master my life. My rifle without me is useless. Without my rifle, I am useless. I must fire my rifle true. I must shoot straighter than my enemy who is trying to kill me. I must shoot him before he shoots me. I will. My rifle and myself know that what counts in this war is not the rounds we fire, the noise of our bursts, or the smoke we make. We know that it is the hits that count. We will hit. This is the first half of the Marine Corps Rifleman's Creed. The riflemen must know as much as they can about their weapon. If they can't properly handle their weapon in a training environment, how are they going to know what to do when they're in the heat of a combat and they begin to lose their motor skills because they're rushing into fight and flight? We train like we fight because we fight like we train. I believe we can and should take a similar approach to how we study the Bible. There's a lot of military imagery in the scripture that show us what is going on in the world behind the scenes and who's going to be the victor. In Isaiah 59:17, God is pictured as a warrior who arms himself for battle. He puts on righteousness as a breastplate and a helmet of salvation on his head. He puts on garments of vengeance for clothing and wraps himself in zeal as a cloak. In Ephesians 6:11 and 12, Paul says, "Put on the full armor of God so that you can take your stand against the devil's schemes. For our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers and against the authorities and against the powers of this dark world and against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realms." These verses point out that we are fighting not a physical battle, but a spiritual one. In a physical war, the rifle is the lifeline that our military must train with and know. Our country depends on it. Similarly, God's words must permeate our entire life so we'll be ready to stand. Our eternity and the eternity of others, it depends on. I often hear my commander tell his task force, "Slow is smooth and smooth is fast." 2 Timothy 3:16 and 17 breaks this down for us as it applies to spiritual warfare. In this spiritual battle, it is imperative that we know God's words. It is for teaching us what is true. It rebukes us when we're wrong. It corrects us by bringing us back to the truth. And it's for training us to the point of consistency. This methodical practice of reading the Bible and studying helps us become technically and tactically proficient. Slow is smooth, and smooth is fast.
Slow is smooth, and smooth is fast.
Have you ever heard the saying, complacency kills? 1 Peter 3:15 tells us, "But in your heart honor Christ as Lord, as holy, always being prepared to make a defense to anyone who asks you for the reason for the hope that is in you. Yet do it with gentleness and respect." If we don't take the time to train or study the Bible, how can we expect to be ready when we are finding ourselves in the spiritual battle of life? How many of us actually know our Bible? Have you taken the time to take it apart, clean it, reassemble it, and practice using it? Complacency kills. Look at our families, our country, and our mental health. We are struggling in a spiritual war. I want to invite you to learn the weapons to fight this spiritual war. This is my Bible. There are many like it, but this one is mine. My Bible is my best friend. It is my life. I must master it to master my life. My Bible without me, it's still sharp. Without my Bible, well, I'm useless. This is a powerful weapon because this is the words of God.